Hey guys, Big Red 310 is here again to do his Evolve review. That's right. That's what you get when you come to this channel. That was weird. Yes, this is like my 7th promotion that I'm adding to the Big Red 310 channel. Let me say this. Quality-wise, depending on what you think, this show's very good. The matches are just really short. Kind of hurts the show, but the matches are really fun. No match was bad on this show. None. I thought they were all at least decent. Everything was good. Most of it was good. It was just really short, and people were crapping on Evolve, saying they should just have a 7-match format. But you see, if Evolve were to do that, I know that they're different from everyone, and that they're not really different. They kind of have this ranking system. If Evolve were to do that 7-match format, each match got a pretty good amount of time, it would just kind of be like ROH, but nowhere near as good. It would just be like a lot of indie promotions, but not as good. And I like this format. It's different. It's something fresh. And I understand why they did it on this show, because they're trying to showcase their entire roster pretty much. I already checked the next show, by the way. There are already 11 matches announced. For this show, there were only 8 matches announced. They added 3. But the promotion, I think, is very fun. And seeing as how Gabe only wants to run like 6 shows a year, I honestly have no problem in buying and supporting Evolve. Especially now that they really do need it a little. They'll just see how the attendance for the next Raw show is. So yeah, I think people, obviously live, for those who didn't like it, I can understand you finding the show torturous, having to sit through 11 matches, looking at your watch. But in reality, the show was really short. The show was only 2 hours and 15 minutes. Of actual wrestling, the show was probably an hour. If that. Nah, an hour and a half. Not really. So it was a fun show to watch. And some people did enjoy it live, but there's some people, like I know Crazy Mike, really did not like the show at all, and he called it quote-unquote torturous to sit through. It really depends on what you like. But, let's get into the review already. We start with Bobby Fish versus Kyle O'Reilly. This match was really, really stiff, and this match was pretty good for the most part. Just really, really short. I would go 2 3/4, 3 stars. I'm sorry if this review isn't as detailed, but there's nothing really to talk about since all the matches were extremely short. It was a really fun match, though, for the most part. O'Reilly did some really good moves in here. Some nice kicks from both men. It was really fun to watch. Bobby Fish is pretty underrated, I will say. I do like him. So, yeah, pretty enjoyable match. Next, we get Chuck Taylor versus Cheech. This match was also fun to sit through. This match was, again, really short. I think this match was also like 6 minutes. Still really fun, though. 2.5 stars, fun to sit through. Easy to watch. Chuck Taylor cut a promo afterwards saying he was upset how he had to qualify and didn't get an automatic invite. And he continues that in this next match, Eric Cannon versus Ricochet. This match was 4 minutes long, but oh my god, was this match going so well. This match was going extremely, extremely well. It was just so much fun in 4 minutes. And I was really hoping this would be one of the matches that got more time, because they were doing so many cool things in 4 minutes. 2.5 stars again, really did enjoy it. And after the match, Chuck Taylor could have promoted Ricochet saying that he didn't believe in evolution. Back where he lived, south of the Mason-Dixon line, they didn't like evolution. Those pages in his textbook were glued together. And they talked about creationism. It was really, really funny. I love Chuck Taylor. I just do. So yeah. And by the way, he challenged Ricochet to the next show. Storyline progression. For those who crap on Gabe. Dark City Fight Club versus Aeroform. This match was not as one-sided as the live reports said. I remember when I read the live reports, they called this match quote-unquote murder. It was not like that. Aeroform got a lot more offense than I thought they would. And again, it was pretty enjoyable. 2.5, 2 3/4 stars. Just a pretty fun match to sit through. Mercedes Martinez versus Naya. This match was like a minute. They didn't really do anything. I'm just going to give it an A. Moving on. Silas versus Brad Allen. This was the 3rd best match of the night. This was pretty good. They got some nice offense in. They had some great arsenal. There was a really cool spot to the outside where Brad Allen broke his nose. He was going for a moonsault, and Silas drop kicked him, and he just went, oh. Brad Allen, by the way, great character development throughout the whole show. At the start, by the way, there are backstage segments. Yes, there are. There was one with Jimmy Jacobs and Silas Young where this guy, Adam Cole, who the whole night, Adam Cole was just trying to show how he could be involved in the future, and Jimmy Jacobs was picking on him. Davey Richards, and we didn't get to see Davey Richards challenge Kyle O'Reilly for obvious reasons, because he wasn't going to be at the next show because he's no longer with that promotion. But Davey, they did show Davey and Kyle O'Reilly backstage in the beginning of the show training. You know, and Kyle O'Reilly went with him to the main event. But yeah, Brad Allen at the start, they like right before the first match, they cut promos. Quick question: Why do you wrestle? Like Kyle O'Reilly said, because it was what I was born to do. Jacobs, because entertaining is my art. Silas Young, because past heroin problem. For those who didn't know, because if I didn't wrestle, I would be dead. And Allen said, I wrestle for one person, my mother. They showed him also backstage writing "Mom" on his tape. He beat Silas Young in a pretty good match. Then he cut a promo afterwards saying he wrestles for his mom. And then at the end of the and he challenged Chris Hero to the next show, but that didn't happen. I don't know why the hell they put this on the DVD, since we know Chris Hero is fighting Hidaka, I think. And I forget who Brad Allen's fighting. Actually, no, it's not Chris Hero. Actually, I have it. Brad Allen is fighting Chris Dickerson. Yeah, so he looked really good throughout the whole show. Next we get Jimmy Jacobs versus Kendone. This match got crapped on a lot, the live reports. I didn't think it was that bad at all. In fact, I thought it was one of the more enjoyable matches of the night. They had some pretty good storytelling. Doane wrestled like a big man for the most part. It was a really fun match. Again, really short. Then, as we all know, Doane pinned Jacobs. Jacobs had his leg on the rope. Tommy Dreamer came out, got a big pop. Then they restarted the match. Jimmy Jacobs won. And then he cut this great promo on Tommy Dreamer saying, I don't need your help. All this, you're here to take a paycheck. Nothing else. Like, you're here just to steal the glory. When I used to call you in WWE, you never returned my calls. This great promo. Dreamer's like, I came here for free. I came here to help people. All this stuff. And then, like, this is what I found stupid. Gabe Sapolsky said in an interview that the purpose of this promotion is to truly play by the rules, not have goofy interferences and all stuff that would get you arrested on the streets. That won't happen on this show. You'll get in trouble for doing that, like the stuff like that. And that's why Jimmy Jacobs didn't want to hurt him. But Dreamer's, like, he was making fun of Dreamer, and Dreamer said, well, I'm not a part of the roster, I'm just here to have fun. Pops him in the face, and then they go at it a little bit. Now, just because Dreamer's not on the roster, that means basically it's okay for him to break the code that they follow? I mean, yes, logically it makes sense, but like, if you actually think about it and use your brain and your common sense, it makes no sense for how come he can do it just because and no one else can. You know, the main point of this roster is to play by the rules. Next we get Johnny Gargano versus Chris Dickerson. This was also very fun. Again, just really, really short. Really fun. Dickerson, he's got a great character to him, got a great look. He'll do well in this promotion. 2.5. Munenori Sawa versus TJP. 2 3/4. I think this match was overrated. Live reports, people said this was like the second best match of the night. I didn't see that at all. There was some great mat wrestling here. That's what TJP is underrated. There's some great mat wrestling, but that was really all it was, mat wrestling. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but you can't really give it a lot of marks. You know, they told us, and the story didn't really make that much sense. You know, they were like, Sawa was working on his leg, and he ended the match by doing an arm submission. I thought he was doing arm submissions for a good portion of it, but he was working on that was like the main story of the match. Still, 2 3/4. Did really enjoy it. Next, we get the second best match of the night, Team Frightning, which is Incoherence and Mike Quackenbush. For those of you who don't know that, Hallowicked, Frightmare, and Mike Quackenbush versus Akuma's army of Gran, Akuma, Icarus, and Brodie Lee instead of Chuck Taylor. This was really, really good. Second best match of the night, 3 1/4 stars. A lot of high-flying spots. Your basic Chikara Trios match, just, again, really, really short. 10 minutes, though. One of the longer matches of the night. Third longest match of the night behind Silas Young and Brad Allen. It was a really good match. The Mike Quackenbush cut a promo saying he mastered the art, the science of the trios match of tag team wrestling, and that's why at the next show he wants to have a 4-way elimination tag team match. And obviously, the main event, the reason you buy this show, Kota Ibushi versus Davey Richards. Oh my god, was this match awesome. This match was just so much, from the start. The first spot of the match is, I'm not going to ruin it, but it's a really great spot. And then it leads into high-flying spots. There were some good storytelling in this match, with Davey working on his arm, going for arm submission for most of the match. And for those who know, he won with the Kimura, and he was trying to lock in the Kimura for most of the match. Another great story to it. Some pretty good psychology for the most part. It was a really, really, really fun match, given a lot of time. Not as much as I would have liked. 17 minutes, which for this show, that's a lot. But this was this close to being 4.5. It's a really, really, really strong 4 1/4. I really loved it. I so desperately wanted to give it 4.5. I just can't quite, for whatever reason. But it was a really, really enjoyable match. My match of the year so far, easily. Overall, how do you rate the show like this? You know, there's some great backstage segments. There's some great storyline progression. Like Johnny Gargano's friends, who were being really obnoxious, wanted to take Johnny Gargano out for a drink. They took him and Jimmy Jacobs at the end of the show, and they wanted to bring along Silas Young, but Silas Young said, I'm not that type of guy anymore. I'm a family. I like to do that stuff. He says, come on, we'll give you a great time. And he's like, okay, just one night. And then he got a call from his wife, and that's how they ended the show. So there was some great character development, great storyline progression, and what they actually built their next show. As much as we all love ROH, when you watch an ROH DVD, they almost never talk about the next show. They made a good point in this show to always say, next show, we're going to do this. Maybe sometimes on ROH on a weekend show, maybe on the Friday, maybe they'll talk about the Saturday show, but they almost never on the Saturday show talk about the next show. They promoted the next show perfectly. They're only running 6 promotions a year. This is only $15. That's the other thing. It's only $15, and I'm going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10. It's a really enjoyable show. Just like wrestling-wise, doesn't have that many great matches, but still, pick it up. $15. Make it worth your 10. I'm out, guys.